Hello and welcome to Inside Cottonwood. I'm your host Ryan Bigelow, Library Director at the Cottonwood Public Library, and today we are joined by our Youth Services Coordinator, Ms. Joyce Reed. Joyce, thank you for being here today. September is a big month for all libraries, really all public libraries. Our library is obviously no exception. We like to think every month is a big month, but September specifically is a big month because it is Library Card Sign-Up Month. Joyce, can you tell us a little bit about Library Card Sign-Up Month and maybe a little bit about what people can do with a library card that they're not thinking about currently?
Well, we definitely want to get people signed up for a library card if they don't have one. And I don't think people realize that not only can they check out books with their library card, but they can also do a number of things on the website. We have all kinds of resources that they can get onto with just their library card number. They just sign on. Mango is one of them. It's a language program. It has Italian, Spanish, French, all kinds of languages that they can learn. All
kinds of languages, right? And we'll get into that a little bit more here in a minute. But so now I know the library has recently introduced a new online program where you can watch movies. I believe it's Canopy.
Right.
Can you tell us a little bit about Canopy and what you need to do that?
Well, on Canopy, they can use their library card to log on to get streaming of video. And for the kids, Canopy kids, it's unlimited streaming of videos, enrichment type videos and educational type films.
Right. So I was really impressed with the selection for Canopy, thinking, okay, it's a free program, you know, what kind of movies are we going to have? It actually has a really nice variety. I have small children and I've been very pleasantly surprised by the amount of materials that are on there for them to watch and they're actually entertained by. So, you know, as an alternative to our Netflix, we use Canopy quite often, so it's really nice. I have an app on my cell phone and I just pull that out and it's quick and easy. Another thing that I'm doing with the online resources right now is we're doing some college searching. So kids, there's a lot of programs on there for jobs and for colleges, so a lot of educational stuff on our online website. So all we need is a library card. These are things that I didn't think of necessarily when before I got to the library. Now I know, and these are resources that we're using. We also have an app called Libby. Can you tell us a little bit about Libby and what that is?
Well, Libby you can get on with an app, and I actually don't have the app because I have a dumb phone. I don't have a smartphone.
Not yet.
Not yet. But you can get on and read some of your favorite books with that.
Right. And that, for me, that was I'll be the first to tell you, I had the Audible subscription and I was doing the Amazon thing, and now I don't. I use the Libby app for all my audiobooks, and it's quick and easy and very much feels very much like 2019.
Yep, and you can take it anywhere you go.
And you can take it anywhere. I had a patron tell me the other day they went on vacation to Europe, but they brought the Cottonwood Public Library with them. So
nice.
that was always that's always nice to hear. Okay, you touched a little bit on the Mango language. I find that fascinating. You can pretty much learn any language you can think of online for free. But there is one language that they have on there that caught me a little off guard. I had no idea that this was a thing. So can you tell us what that language is and what's going on with it?
It's Talk Like a Pirate.
Talk Like a Pirate.
They take you through all the phrases of how to talk like a pirate. Arg, shiver me timbers. And so it's a fun thing for kids to get on, and we're actually going to be using it for a program that we have. So
Talk Like a Pirate Day is this Thursday, September 19th.
Talk Like a Pirate Day,
or if you come to the library on Talk Like a Pirate Day, what do I have to wear a pirate hat, or what is this?
You don't have to, but you can. We're actually going to be making a pirate hat.
Okay.
We're going to be making a treasure map. They're going to get an eye patch that they can decorate, and they get to make a perching parrot.
Look at that. Talk Like a Pirate Day.
Yeah, so we're going to bring Mango up on the TV with a laptop, and they can go through all the phrases for Talk Like a Pirate.
Wonderful. So
Arg.
is that's obviously the kids can do that. Are we doing anything for the adults? Is there?
The adults have a program also. I believe that they're doing like a little treasure hunt in the main part of the library for adults.
So there'll be a treasure map. There'll be some booty to be able to get. So September 19th, that's this Thursday. We look forward to everybody coming out to the Cottonwood Public Library and exploring Talk Like a Pirate Day with us, which will be new. Obviously, that's new for me. I think that's new for the Cottonwood Public Library, but we're going to be using some of our online resources to help us learn how to talk like a pirate and other things that we've got going on. So,
right, and the kids' event will be from 3 to 5 after school.
Okay, well that's definitely a new thing at the library. I know we have a lot of new things going on. Can you tell us a little bit about what looks new now at the library? I know there's been some adjustments of some of the spaces. Can you tell us a little bit about maybe the kids area?
Sure. In the kids area, we moved some shelving and some spaces around, and we have what's called a camp tent, and it's just a little plastic structure with a canvas in between it and some ottomans under it. And the kids can sit under there and read. They can play with the toys that we have. We got a new kitchen with play food and play kitchen implements and utensils. And we also have we've just opened it up, and we've gotten some new vinyl furniture for people to sit in, and easy to clean, but the way the space is set up, the parents are coming over to that space after the story times and having like a social time, a play time with their kids, and it's really nice.
That's wonderful, because that's the intent here. So when you say opened it up, we've tried to open up several spaces throughout the library and kind of reimagine what those spaces can be. And we envision ourselves as a place for people to connect, right, and to socialize. So what that means for us, not only in the youth area, but we've created some new spaces now on the adult side too, is we're reorganizing. We're not eliminating a lot of books, but we are kind of pushing back a little bit on the books. We're not having as many. One of the benefits of being in the YLN and the Yavapai Library Network is that if we don't have it, one of our 40 other libraries probably does, so you can still have access to the book. But we're creating spaces where people can congregate, where people can have a conversation and be that connecting space. So by opening it up, we're trying to create some inviting spaces where people feel welcome, because we want to make sure that everyone feels welcome at the Cottonwood Public Library. And whether it's reading your book, take the newspaper out, take the magazine out, talk after story time, that's what we want to see. We want to see people there and meeting their neighbors and talking to the people that they may have not talked to before. It's a wonderful place, and that's one of our primary purposes, is to be there and connect the community. We've got more programs. We've got a lot of different things coming up. We will be right back here in a couple of minutes, and we will touch on Banned Books Week. What does that mean, and what is the Cottonwood Public Library going to do for Banned Books Week? So we'll be right back after this break.
This is Bruce Morrow, Transportation Manager for Cottonwood Area Transit. Remember, we cover the entire Verde Valley and Sedona. Cottonwood Area Transit has you covered wherever you want to ride in the Verde Valley, all day, every day. Take Cottonwood Area Transit through Clarkdale, Verde Village, and from 26 locations in Cottonwood. With Verde Links, it's a quick and easy trip to Sedona every day. Don't forget our connectors to Camp Verde. Visit cottonwoodaz.gov for Cottonwood Area Transit and take a seat. Let's go ride.
Do you feel like people are avoiding you? Don't be a dreaded spreader. Protect yourself and those around you from flu. Here's 3 things you should do. Get a flu vaccine each year. Take everyday preventive actions to stop the spread of germs, like covering coughs and sneezes and washing your hands, and stay home if you're sick. If you do get the flu, contact a healthcare professional right away and take flu antivirals if prescribed. Don't be a dreaded spreader. Take 3 steps to fight flu.
Hello and welcome back to Inside Cottonwood. I'm Ryan Bigelow, the Library Director for the Cottonwood Public Library, and today we've got our Youth Coordinator, Ms. Joyce Reed, with us. And before the break, we mentioned we're going to talk a little bit about Banned Books Week. Banned Books Week is also in September. It's Library Card Sign-Up Month, and it's also Banned Books Week, and which is September 22nd through the 28th. Banned Books Week is something that most, if not all, public libraries will participate in. And we've got a graphic up there that says censorship leaves us in the dark. One of the ideas here is that as a public library, we're not trying to eliminate information from people. We want to keep equal access for everybody. But sometimes folks aren't as open to those ideas as others. So can you tell us a little bit about Banned Books Week, what it is, and maybe some of the stuff that the library is going to do for it?
So Banned Books Week are books that different people have decided are not appropriate for others to read, and of course libraries don't censor. So in terms of the kids area, a couple of books that have been banned or challenged in some way. Harry Potter is one. Yep. I remember from my teen years, Catcher in the Rye was one that was challenged. And Tom Sawyer and Huckleberry Finn for various reasons. So most libraries try to have some type of display or whatever with books that have been challenged. And I think when people come and look at them, they are quite surprised to see what is in the array of books that have been challenged or banned.
Right. Well, I know last year we did a Banned Books Week. We actually put them in brown paper bags, so you didn't know what you were going to be checking out.
Right, we had a blind date with a banned book.
Blind date with a banned book, you said it so nicely. But then people would just check it out and not know what it is, and then once you check it out, then you kind of get to see what you're in store for. And I think the idea there is to open people's eyes and minds to the different areas that people are either offended by or not as in tune with, so they will bring up complaints. But I think public libraries want to make sure that again that we're for everyone, and that people have equal access to information, and to bring that to everyone's attention is a great thing. So I think this year the plan is to have a similar display. So if you come into the Cottonwood Public Library, I don't think we're doing blind date this year, but we will have several displays showcasing some of the books that have been recently banned or not so recently banned. So so folks can see, and they can check them out if they would like, or if they don't want to check them out, they don't have to, right? That's kind of the idea, is that we have access, we have that information. So when people come in, they have that choice.
Right.
So when people come in, that's one of the things that we've been talking about lately at the library, is how do we get more people to come in, and why, where, when, and where can we get them to come in. So we are going to be changing and expanding our hours here in the very near future. Can you tell us what that means and why we're doing it?
Well, we're doing it because I think people have asked for it. And so typically on Mondays, we've only been open 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. We are now going to be open all day, 9 to 5. So most of our hours during the week are going to be 9 to 5. However, on Tuesday and Wednesday, we're going to be open 9 to 7 p.m. So I think it'll be really nice for people that may want to spend a little bit more time later in the afternoon and early evening in the library. And then we're expanding one more hour on Saturdays. We're going to be open 9 to 2 instead of 10 to 2. And I think it will just make it a lot easier for patrons who are kind of scheduling their times to find, you know, some more times that are open for us to be available to them.
Absolutely. So when we did our strategic plan, we surveyed and we talked to a lot of patrons, a lot of people in our community, and clearly hours of operation were something that folks were concerned with. Primarily Saturdays and Mondays. Saturdays and Mondays only being tended to was really limiting. So we tried to help out on Saturdays by giving an extra hour. Where we really think we're going to make the impact is on Mondays. And can you tell us what you think you're going to see on Mondays on the youth side specifically? How is that going to affect you?
Well, definitely it's going to affect the youth side of the library, because now kids will be able to come in after school when they get off of school around 2:20, 2:30 or so. They'll be able to spend time in the library on Monday afternoons as well as the other days that they come in. So we definitely expect to see a pretty dramatic impact to our use, to especially for the kids. I mean, that was, if nothing else, that was a main factor, a main driver for that decision. Was it would break my heart to see our kids who normally come during the week, but on a Monday afternoon, kind of just wandering around. With not many options or places to go. Right.
We're hopefully going to obviously be able to rectify that, and kids will have a space, a safe place to be after school. And I hope that our community benefits from that, because I know that these kids, without that safe space, can often wander and feel and be a little aimless. So
right.
We're going to provide that. I'll also note that being open beyond the 10 to 2 will help the adult side. I can't tell you how many times I have been at the library before 10 o'clock or after 2 o'clock and had people knocking on the windows and saying, hey, what's going on here? It's 3 o'clock in the afternoon, why aren't you open? So we had a lot of explaining and a lot of folks who were a little bit frustrated by that. So hopefully that's something they can do. But we also need to recognize that there are enough online options now too, that getting your library card and having that is something that is still important, and you don't have to necessarily physically come to the library to be using your library. So the other part of that is that we're going to be open till 7 o'clock 2 nights a week. We're going to try to program some of that.
Lots of possibilities for programming. We're considering a pajama story time with little ones. So we're looking at when we can do that, and what's the best time for parents and kids.
Right. So that's going to create some opportunities for us, and we know that community spaces are a big need, and when we closed at 6 o'clock, we were having a hard time with some groups who would like to use like our meeting spaces, for instance, and we would have to tell them, no, we can't schedule you there because we close at 6 o'clock. And now we'll have that opportunity to allow for some of our community groups to come in and utilize our spaces at different hours. Hopefully this also will help our working families. You know, if you get off of work and we're closed at 6, it's hard to come in and pick up your holds or come in and participate in a program. Now if we're open until 7 o'clock, hopefully we're going to create some opportunities for those folks too. So we're really excited about it. It's going to be a big change, especially for us as staff. So I know staff actually was instrumental in creating these hours. So really thankful that it seems like we've got really great buy-in from staff, and hopefully the patrons will recognize that and see that. So we're talking about everything new at the Cottonwood Public Library. We want to come back here after the break and discuss some of our new programs, some of our existing programs, and what we've got up and coming here for September and October and into November. We'll be right back. I'm Ryan Bigelow, your host, director of the Cottonwood Public Library, and we'll be right back right after this.
This is Bruce Morrow, Transportation Manager for Cottonwood Area Transit. Remember, we cover the entire Verde Valley and Sedona. Cottonwood Area Transit has you covered wherever you want to ride in the Verde Valley, all day, every day. Take Cottonwood Area Transit through Clarkdale, Verde Village, and from 26 locations in Cottonwood. With Verde Links, it's a quick and easy trip to Sedona every day. Don't forget our connectors to Camp Verde. Visit cottonwoodaz.gov for Cottonwood Area Transit and take a seat. Let's go ride.
Do you feel like people are avoiding you? Don't be a dreaded spreader. Protect yourself and those around you from flu. Here's 3 things you should do. Get a flu vaccine each year. Take everyday preventive actions to stop the spread of germs, like covering coughs and sneezes and washing your hands, and stay home if you're sick. If you do get the flu, contact a healthcare professional right away and take flu antivirals if prescribed. Don't be a dreaded spreader. Take 3 steps to fight flu.
Welcome back to Inside Cottonwood. I'm your host, Ryan Bigelow, the director of the Cottonwood Public Library, and today we have with us Ms. Joyce Reed, the Youth Services Coordinator at the Cottonwood Public Library, and we've been talking about a lot of things new and change and different at the Cottonwood Public Library, and we left off talking about some of our programs and some of our ideas for the future, but we've got some existing programs that we've got going on. And some things that we'd like to make sure the public is aware of. I know one of them is we have volunteer tutors for kids. Can you tell us about that program and what that looks like?
I can. We have 3 reading tutors and 1 math tutor. All of these people are volunteers. They're doing this on their own time. So tutoring at the Cottonwood Public Library is free. So if there are parents or caregivers who have a child that needs some tutoring in reading or math, it is available. It is a sign-up event, and at this time my 3 reading tutors have no children to tutor. So they're waiting in the wings and ready to tutor kids if they need help. The math tutor does have 1 child starting this week actually, and when they come in, they like to meet with the parent or the caregiver and talk a little bit about what the child needs, and maybe do like a little assessment to see where the child is with either math or reading, and then set a schedule every week, but it's typically after school. It has been on Tuesdays and Thursdays from between 3:30 and 4:30. But they're willing to negotiate days and times. So if parents need tutoring, please come to the Cottonwood Public Library because we've got some help.
It sounds like an amazing service, and I know that, you know, being a parent, I know that that's something that we've struggled with and looked for and never really found that solution. So the Cottonwood Public Library is and can be that solution, and the price is, it's like I like to say, the price is always right at the library, and free is a good number there. So hopefully we get some folks interested in that and taking advantage of that, because I do know it's a need. We're just trying to get the word out and get people to participate. You have another program that helps the youth and gets them maybe involved with some animals, the Pause to Read program. Can you tell us about what that is exactly and how that works?
Sure. Pause to Read, a lot of libraries have Pause to Read, and it's PAWS, and it's where a child can come in and practice reading to a dog. So if they're struggling reading or just need some practice reading, it's kind of like just a friendly atmosphere for reading out loud. A lot of kids are afraid to get up in front of a class and read. They're a little embarrassed, especially if they're struggling. And this is a way for them to kind of get over that because they're reading to a dog. We have 3 volunteers who have 3 handlers who have 3 dogs. You know, they each have a dog. So we have Joe and Ignatz. We have Lisa and Bruno and Madeline and Lucy, and they come in once per month. We sign up 3 kids for an hour, 15-minute to 20-minute session each. So it's about an hour that the dog and the handler are at the library, and they get about 15-20 minutes to interact with the dog and to read. And they can either bring a book from home or they can pick out one at the library if they come a little bit early. And we sign them up for the program. These dogs are therapy dogs, a little bit different from service dogs. Service dogs work with one person who needs a particular service, either alert or guidance or guiding or walking or whatever. Therapy dogs are trained to work with all kinds of people. And so they're a dog that you can pet. A service dog you usually can't. You can pet a therapy dog. These therapy dogs go to hospice, the hospitals, the schools. Lisa and Bruno actually have a little book about them going to the schools here in Cottonwood that we have at the library. And when we had Pause to Read last week, I had nobody signed up, but we grabbed a couple of kids after school. Lisa and Bruno were just walking around. They went upstairs to the teen zone to let kids know that there was a dog here. And these are dogs that love people. Right. And Madeline and Lucy is a part lab, and she actually has the highest rating for a therapy dog that you can get. So she can actually work with autistic and kids on the spectrum.
Wonderful.
So
wonderful. Another great service, another great program at the library, and want to make sure that kids are aware and taking advantage of that. What a great way to get them involved and just walk the dogs around. What kid isn't drawn to that,
right.
Drawn to a dog. So wonderful service. Another program that we've got going on, and that's we're going to be continuing regularly throughout the year this year, is the open mic program.
Yep.
What is open mic, and when do we have it?
So we were doing open mic during the summer reading program, and it's a program where people can come in. It's usually later afternoon, evening, and they can perform in front of their peers. We had a girl who self-published her own book, so she read excerpts from it. They can read poetry, they can tell jokes. We had another little girl get up and sing. We've had people bring ukuleles in and sing and play. And we just received a grant through the Yavapai Community Foundation to continue open mic monthly.
Wonderful.
Beginning in October. So the first one will be Wednesday, October 9th from 5:30 to 6:30. And we chose that day because that's one of the days that we're going to be open later.
Right.
And I think it will be more easily attended by people because of the later time. And we usually provide snacks and water. Murray Natke comes in and sets up his sound equipment and facilitates open mic. And it's just a nice place for people to come if they like to perform music or perform, family-oriented performance in front of people in the community.
Right. So if I want to attend, do I have to be a musician or a performer, or can I just attend to be a spectator?
You can attend just to watch if you'd like. You could be a spectator and help support those that get up.
Wonderful.
And it's funny because sometimes people will sit back and they don't want to get up in front, and they find out how easy it is to get up in front of other people, and they will eventually get up and do some sort of performance.
It's a pretty incredible experience to sit there and watch some of these really talented folks that we have in our area, but then also watch some folks who are just experiencing performance for the first time. So
it's a nice venue for practicing if you're wanting to perform in front of others.
Wonderful.
So.
Okay, well, we're about out of time here. Joyce, thank you so much for joining me. And we want to remind people that September is Library Card Sign-Up Month, so we would encourage you, if you have not been into the Cottonwood Public Library recently or thinking, I don't need to check out books, that you come in and pay us a visit and explore some of the other opportunities that we might have that might fit you and fit your needs a little bit better. I've been telling people since I've moved to the library that if you have something you'd like to improve on, something that you're not so familiar with, something that you're struggling with, the library has a solution for you, and we'd like to share that with you. So, and the price is always right. The free is always good. So please, we encourage you to get your library card. We'd like you to see you for Banned Books Week, September 22nd through the 28th. And a reminder that we are changing and expanding our hours starting Monday, September 30th. If you have any questions, please give us a call or check out our website. We're also very active on Facebook, so if you're a Facebook user, please like us and follow us on Facebook. That's all we have for today. Again, I'm Ryan Bigelow, the Library Director for the Cottonwood Public Library. Thanks for joining us for this episode of Inside Cottonwood.